Hi, friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is John LaCroix. I am the owner and race director of the Human Potential Running Series, or HPRS for short. If this is your first HPRS race, welcome to the family. We are one of Colorado's largest trail and ultramarathon running series and one of the largest ultra series in the United States. We host 9 in-person races each year right here in Colorado. You can learn more about our mission, ethos, and our events on our website, www.humanpotentialrunning.com. This is the official pre-race meeting for the 2026 Endure Trail Runs, the 6th annual edition, 13th annual if you count its former name as Tommyknocker Ultras, happening this Saturday, May 16th at Mueller State Park in Divide, Colorado. This meeting is required viewing for all participants and is designed to help you show up fully informed and prepared on race day. We begin by acknowledging that when we gather this coming weekend, we will be standing on the traditional and ancestral lands of the Ute and Cheyenne peoples. At HPRS, we believe that being a runner means being a temporary steward of these spaces. We acknowledge the history of dispossession and the ongoing connection that tribes have to this land. We won't just be running a race. We will be honoring the spirit of those who moved across these mountains for generations before us. I encourage you to use the links on our website this week to learn the specific history of these peoples so that when you show up at the start line, your presence is an act of respect, not just consumption. If you're tuning in and still haven't registered, online registration closes Tuesday night, May 11th at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. With race day signups available as space allow, we're going to have plenty of space. So if you have any family, friends, loved ones that want to join us on race day and they don't make that online registration cutoff Tuesday night at 11:59, bring them on out. We'll get them signed up on race weekend. We'd absolutely love to have them join us for the event. And just a reminder that t-shirt and awards cutoffs have passed. For this event, it was Monday, May 4th. You had to sign up by Monday, May 4th to guarantee yourself a race shirt and an award. If you signed up after that time, you might miss out on a shirt, but we should still have plenty of awards available. So everybody who shows up should get a finisher's award. And again, shirts are based on availability of no-shows this weekend. We should have plenty of shirts as well. In this video, I'm going to cover everything you need to finalize your prep before you head out to see us this coming weekend. Because this is a pre-recorded briefing, we don't have a live Q&A session. However, we are committed to your success. So if you have questions after watching this, please shoot us an email and we'll get back to you as soon as we're off the trails. Before you reach out, remember that we have provided extensive resources designed to support your operational rigor. You can find the answers to almost every logistical question in these 3 places: the pre-race informational email that landed in your inbox recently, the runner's guide and Google Drive folder linked on our website, and the specific race page at humanpotentialrunning.com. Please use these tools. This meeting is meant to be a high-level enhancement of the sacred readiness you've already established by doing your homework and reading the materials. Let's talk safety. At HPRS, we treat every participant like an adult. Trail and ultra races are extreme events. Yes, even the 10K. No matter the distance, you are stepping into an environment where you are responsible for your safety. I can't guarantee your well-being, but I can help manage risk. What I ask of you in return is accountability. Read the guide. Bring the right gear. Know the course. When you're deep into this race, your executive up brain, the part of you that makes logical, safe decisions, is going to check out. Your primal down brain will take over, making choices based on fear, exhaustion, or comfort. I need you to preload your sacred readiness now. You need to be self-sufficient because I cannot put a volunteer on every corner to override your lizard brain's bad math. A headlamp, extra batteries, and a $2 poncho aren't just gear. They are your anchors to reality. And please remember, DNF doesn't mean did not finish. It means did nothing fatal. You don't need to prove anything out there. If something feels off, it's okay to stop. We don't post DNF results, so if you're done, it's like you were never there. Sometimes the mountain wins. That doesn't mean you lost. Stay on course if injured. Tell a runner to communicate your situation to the next aid station. Depending on the circumstances, we'll send a hasty crew to you. Don't go bushwhacking to a road or to another trail. That makes things harder for everyone. Also, let your family know where you'll be and that there's no live tracking. If they want to help, we always need volunteers, and volunteering is the best way to see you on the course. At HPRS, we take personal accountability seriously. We expect that you've read the runner guide and race email. If someone shows up unprepared, we may refuse service. This isn't about being mean. It's the why behind our math. An unprepared runner is a liability who drains the energy of our volunteers and the financial sustainability of the series. We serve the community, and one person's lack of accountability shouldn't compromise the sanctuary we've built for everyone else. I've recently sent out the pre-race email to all registered runners. If you haven't read it yet, please do. Here's a look at, well, first, hey, we got a website. Great thing to check out. If you head on over there and hover under the events tab, you'll see the button for Endure. If you click that, it'll bring you to our Endure Trail Runs race-specific email page. And if you scroll down on this page, you come to this area here. And all of these, if you click on them, are little accordion buttons. They'll just drop down. And so there's a whole host of information here available to you, including the runner's drive. If you click on that link, it'll bring you here. This is also linked to in your pre-race informational email. And here within the drive, I just want to show you that here is your 2026 runner guide. We also have our emergency action plan in case you want to know exactly how we are going to respond in the event of an emergency. Of high importance here is also the responsibilities of the runner sheet. It explains to you what we expect of you. Also, we have the runner navigation apps document. This details how you can use resources like CalTopo, Cotrex, that's Colorado Trails Explorer. This is a free app. And also Gaia GPS to live track yourself while you're out on the course. Also in this document is an explanation of how you can share your live location with your loved ones with your own technology. Also, we've got paper maps of the course. This is a PDF of all the course maps. You can download this, print them out, bring them with you. We got our elevation profiles for each loop, every distance in the event. We've also got historical finisher stats. We've got a Google map of the routes on here. We have a carpool document that you can use to find somebody to carpool into the event with. Please do pay attention to the parking that we're going to be talking about here in a moment. If you're somebody that needs a GPX file to upload to your watch, there is a folder. There is a GPX file for each of the distance events, including the 10K, the half marathon, and the marathon. And then we also have loop-specific blue, green, orange, purple, red. Please do see the course preview video that I made to talk more about the course so you know how everything works. We also have this, these are our tracking sheets from previous year's 12-hour events here within Mueller State Park, if you're interested to see how we track that and how it works. And if you're in the 12-hour last runner standing event, these are your splits. I'm going to go over this here in a second, but just so you know, these are the splits for you folks in that 12-hour event. And I'm going to come back to this in a moment, as I said. But I just wanted to point out the plethora of information available to you within the Runner's Drive, linked to within your race informational email. You should have very few questions. Things come up. It's hard to find some things. I know there's a lot of information. Friends, you are about to recreate in a wild setting. We are not lightning speed from a medical facility or for emergency personnel to reach us at a moment's notice. You've got to be prepared. You got to know what you're getting into. And we've done our due diligence to give you all of the tools that we possibly can to afford you the opportunity to do that. Let's talk about parking. Okay, so just a little bit to talk about here with the parking situation. First thing I want to show you is the map. Let me get rid of that logo at the top. No, I want that one. There we go. Get rid of that logo. Okay, so here on your screen, I want to show you, here is Highway 67, all the way on the right-hand side. And of course, here it says to divide or Woodland Park. So if you're coming from Highway 24, Highway 24 kind of runs in this direction to the north of the park. So you'll be coming down Highway 67 out of the north. If you're coming from Cripple Creek, you'll be coming out of the south. Either way, when you get to the main park entrance, come on in. Here at the main park entrance, let me change my color so you folks can see what I'm talking about here. Here at the main park entrance, we're going to have volunteers staged at that spot to accost you as you first arrive into the park. I'm going to explain that in a moment. But what you're going to do after you get through the gate is you're going to drive all the way through the park. You're going to go past the visitor center, past the livery, through these campgrounds. There's going to be signage out there to show you where to go. And you're going to enter into the Pisgah Group camping area. And if we do this right, we should be able to park every single one of you within this campground this weekend. Okay? So you're coming to the Pisgah Group campground within the state park. If for some reason we fill this, and I do not believe that we will, our first overflow lot is the livery parking area, and that's 1 mile from the start finish. If we are using the livery parking lot, we will have a shuttle that will drive down there to pick you up and drive you into the site and drop you off. And then at the end of your race, they will, of course, drive you back down. Okay? We did not use the livery last year. We haven't used it in a few years, so I don't expect we'll use it this year. And then we've got some overflow parking still down at John Wesley Ranch, but we're not going to end up using that this year, so we're not going to worry about it. So again, you're going to enter the park. You're going to meet some of our volunteers. We're going to get you squared away for entering the park. You're going to drive all the way into Pisgah Group Campground, and we're going to park you there. So what does it look like when you get to the Pisgah Campground? Well, it's going to look like this. So you're going to enter in this way, and you're going to drive around the loop in the counterclockwise direction. Everywhere you see this yellow line is where we're going to park you. So we're going to start with the first car that comes in on race morning is going to park right here where I just drew my pink line. And we're going to go one by one in the right-hand lane. So essentially that is the drive lane, right? You're going to be in the right-hand lane, one by one, staggered backwards. So you're going to be facing out. Your little car, front of your car is going to be up here. The back is going to be here. Okay? So everybody's car, we're going to start right here, and we're going to park you one at a time in the right-hand lane. It's really important that you park 100% on the pavement in the right-hand lane. Essentially, what we are creating in the campground is a one-way loop around the campground. So the right-hand lane is going to be full of cars, which means everybody that leaves as you end your day, everybody's going to continue to drive in that counterclockwise direction, except you're going to be driving in the left lane. And nobody will be allowed to drive clockwise in the left lane around the campground. That is an exit only one way. So you're parking in the right-hand lane, 100% on the pavement, one at a time. And then when you leave at the end of the day, everybody's driving in the left-hand lane on their way out of the campground. That's why you see these areas where we have it labeled in red. That's because we're not parking in the left-hand lane. So we got to leave that open for egress. So that's how the loop works. Also, nobody may park in this area. This is where you come across, you'll come in. If you're getting dropped off, you get dropped off here. Your family and friends will drop you off, and then they will leave. See ya. This is not a situation where they're going to park and hang out for a while. Okay?
Do not come.
So this is where they come in, they're going to drop you off, and then they're going to leave. This area needs to be open for other campers that are in the campground who have paid to camp for the weekend. This is where they park to utilize this camper services building. We are not allowed to use the camper services building. We're not allowed to use the restrooms in the camper services building. That is for campers. We will have porta potties stationed throughout the campground. There will be 4 of them. Usually they are like in these areas that I'm drawing right now. They'll be around. Use them. Once we've filled up our outside right-hand lane, we start parking you guys in some of these campground spots. And we'll fill all of this up to get everybody fit into the campground for the event. And we do this every year. Last year we had fewer runners than we had more runners than we have coming this year, and we were able to park everybody in here. It's I think from one end of this lot, from here to the start finish line, which is down here, is all of 120 yards maybe. It's not that far. We will park you in these spots as well, just so that you know. But whatever you do, when you arrive at the campground, please do follow the direction of our volunteers as we try to park you in an orderly fashion and make sure that we can get everybody parked within this campground. And again, if you can carpool, please do. This helps us. This helps us greatly to fit everybody in. Would really appreciate it. One of my favorite HPRS traditions is, hold on, before I get to this, one more thing about parking. When you come into the state park, I mentioned we have volunteers that are going to be at the entrance to the state park. They're going to be at the entrance gate. You need to show them one of 2 things. One is, let's say you have a military license plate. If you have a military license plate, you get free admission into the park. So if you show up in a vehicle that has a military plate on the vehicle, state of Colorado military plate, or I think it's any military plate, Purple Heart, disabled veteran, whatever it is, you're going to be allowed to proceed and come into the park. If you don't have a military plate or a handicap plate, then you need to show us that you have a state parks pass. This is not an America the Beautiful pass. The America the Beautiful passes is for national parks. They do not work in Colorado state parks. Those are for our national parks. That is a federal pass that you bought. This is not federal land. This is state land that we stole from natives, from our indigenous peoples. So you need a state park pass. So if you show us the driver who's coming in has their vehicle registration, if you have a Keep Colorado Wild CPW emblem on your vehicle's registration, you're going to be allowed to enter the park free of charge. If you have any of the other passes, state park passes available here in Colorado, you are also going to be allowed to enter the park free of charge. If you do not have a state park pass or one of the approved license plates, it is $10. And that $10 is on you. It is not included in your entry fee. We told you about this during the registration process. As part of your registration, everybody agreed that you're going to arrive either in a vehicle with the appropriate pass or plate, or you will pay the $10 to enter the park. So we will be collecting the $10 at that time and actually writing out the state park pass for your vehicle, which you will affix to the windshield after you make payment, and we will insert your payment into the fee tube at the gate. And that is to ensure that everybody who is entering that does not have a park pass or the approved plate is indeed paying the entry fee for the state park for the day. This is all outlined in great detail in the runner guide. Please read the runner guide so that you know what passes and license plates are accepted. And that way, if not, you're ready to rock with $10 exact cash to be able to enter the park on race day. All right, thank you. One of my favorite HPRS traditions is our community campfire, which we'll be hosting on Friday night at check-in, 7 to 9 p.m. Our community roundtable dreamed up these gatherings to help you plug into something deeper than just a race. This is about tribal caretaking. The campfire is open to everyone, runners, crews, pacers, family, and friends. It is a space for anyone who wants to feel the energy of our trail and ultra running community before we head into the unknown together. This isn't a mandatory briefing. It is a chance to sit in the glow of belonging and share stories. We hope you'll join us. These fires are our way of saying you're welcome here. You are not alone, and whatever challenge you signed up for this weekend, you don't have to face it in isolation. All right, there's 2 times that you can check in for this weekend's event. The first is on Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m. right at the start-finish line in the state park. Come on into the campground, park your vehicle. From 7 to 9 p.m., we will be there allowing you to check in right at the start-finish line. And if you don't make it Friday night, it is not mandatory. It is an option. Then you can check in on Saturday morning starting at 6:30 a.m. all the way till first races start at 8. Actually, we do have some events starting at 9, so it should say 6:30 to 9. We will be allowing check-in for the 2.5 hours on race morning as well. Just a friendly reminder that you may only pick up your own bib and swag. You may not pick up for someone else. An ID may be required. This is the way it's always been here at HPRS. You can't pick up for your wife who's coming later or not at all. The swag, the shirts, everything. We try to keep those available for people who are in attendance. And again, if somebody is not showing up, we do take those shirts to try and provide them to the folks who have signed up late. So you may only pick up your own bib and swag. Just a friendly reminder on that. Start times. If you are in the marathon, you're going to start at 8 a.m. Saturday. If you are in the 12-hour, that is either the 12-hour tiny balls or 12-hour last runner standing, you will start at 8 a.m. And then if you are in the 10K or half marathon, you're going to start at 9 a.m. We do allow mid-race drop-downs at some of our races. This is one of those events where we do that. So here's the deal. If you start the half marathon, you go out and you run your first loop. You run your first 2 loops. And you say, you know what? I think I've had enough. I don't want to do that 3rd loop. Well, guess what? You could say at that point, hey, I'm going to be done here at 10K. And what we do is we give you a finisher's award and we put your name in the results for the 10K. So you are not considered a DNF. You get to walk away from the event having accomplished something, received your award, and your result ends up somewhere. And we do this as a way for you to make good choices for yourself and everybody else. If you're in the marathon, you can drop down at the 10K mark and say, I've had enough. You can drop down at the half marathon mark and say you've had enough, and we'll put your name and results in the 10K or the half marathon results, whichever it is, and provide you with a finisher's award. If you are in the 12-hour last runner standing event and you fail to endure one of the loops, you are not a DNF. You are no longer in the last runner standing field, and instead we are going to move you to the 12-hour tiny balls. So at that point, you are now picking balls for yourself, and you may continue for the remainder of the 12-hour time limit. So those of you in the last runner standing, if you don't make it, you get moved over to 12-hour tiny balls, and your results will be in that event to make sure that, again, you're not a DNF. There is no drop-down option for the 10K or the 12-hour tiny ball event. Now, how do these loops work? Just a little bit of info here for you all. If you're in the 10K, you're going to run the green loop and then the orange loop, and then you're done. In between your loop, you must check in at the start-finish line. So the green loop starts and finishes at the start-finish line. If you fail to come up to the start-finish line to check in before you leave on that orange loop, the orange loop won't count because you have not run the course. Again, you must run the complete green loop all the way back into the start-finish line, and then you will run the orange loop. And this goes for all of these events. So again, if you're in the 10K, it's green, then orange. If you're in the half marathon, you will run green, orange, and then purple. If you are in the marathon, you will run the green, the orange. You will run the purple loop, but you're going to add an out and back to the summit of Grouse Mountain on your way back in from the portion of the lollipop of the purple loop. So a lollipop loop typically means you go out, you run a loop, and you come back. Looks like a lollipop. So for the purple loop, you're going to run out, you're going to run the pop, and then you're going to do a little out and back on Grouse Mountain and then come all the way in. And then you will continue on to the blue loop and the red loop. So the marathon is running one of every single loop associated with this event, including an out and back of Grouse Mountain. All right? If you are in the 12-hour Tiny Balls event, how this works is entirely up to those tiny balls. So again, our course is made up of 5 different colored loops. There's a green, red, orange, blue, and purple. Each of those loops will be marked with that Associated Colors survey marking tape. So the purple loop will be marked with purple tape, the blue loop with blue tape, the green loop with green tape, and so on. What you're going to do when you check in is pick your first ball. So when you check in, you get your bib number, you're going to put your fist into the bucket, you pull out a colored ball. If you pull out the green ball, your first loop will be the green loop. If you pull out the red ball, your first loop will be the red loop, and so on. So whatever ball you pull out at check-in, that is the color of your first loop. All right? Then you will go and run that loop. When you come back to the start-finish line, you will dive your fist into that bucket again and pull another ball. And whatever colored ball that you pull out, you will then run that loop. So if you start with the green loop and you come in and you put your fist in the bucket and you pull out a purple ball, your second loop will be the purple loop. And this continues for up to 12 total hours. Your goal is to run as many miles as you can or want within the 12 hours. As long as you finish your first loop, you will not be a DNF. That last loop that you run needs to be done before 8 p.m. If you show up at 8:00.01 p.m., that final loop will not count, but all of your other loops will. Okay? So that final loop needs to be completed within the final cutoff of 12 hours. I think that's it, but essentially, that's how it works. If you have somebody that you're like, oh, we really want to run together, great. I don't care. Then the two of you, one of you picks a ball, and whatever color ball you pick, you both go out and run that loop together. That's fine. It's just running. It's a hobby. It's supposed to be a great time. So if there's somebody that you want to run together for this loop or a loop later on or all of the loops together, it's fine. Just do what you want. Ideally, everybody runs a different sequence of loops. If everybody is pulling balls out of the bucket, and fate, it really is, your fate is in the hands of these tiny balls. So as long as you essentially, the idea is that every single runner will have run a different sequence of loops. And in the years where every runner does follow that rule, there really has never been 2 runners in one event that have run the same exact sequence of colors unless they're running together. So if you want to run together with somebody, that's fine. If you want to just do a couple loops with somebody, that's fine. Here and there, that's fine. It don't matter. Come on out and have a great time. The rule is, all that I care about is that you're letting tiny balls decide your fate. So you're diving your fist into that ball, that bucket, whatever color ball you pull out. That's the loop that you run next. But let's say you pull out a red loop and you don't want to run a red loop. You're not interested. Well, you can earn yourself an override ticket. Before I get to explaining that, I want to let everybody know as the event wears on, as we get further into the day, we will start closing some of these loops. So typically it's like the red loop closes first, and it's like around 3:30 or 4 o'clock or something. It's whenever the math doesn't work out, that there's no way that you're going to go and run that loop and finish within the cutoff, so we take it out. So the red loop closes and we take the red balls out of the bucket. And then I believe it's the purple loop closes next and we take those balls out of the bucket. And then the orange loop closes and we take those balls out of the bucket. And soon, in the last hour, all that you're really left with is green and blue. And we do this to make sure that whatever you take off on, you have a really good chance of finishing that. So that's another part of it I want to explain. But if I go back, you don't want to run a loop, well, you might pull a black ball. Inside that bucket are going to be these black ping pong balls. There's no black loop. So what that means is you have a choice. When you pull a black ball, you can either spin this wheel that you see here on your screen, this wheel right here. It's got all kinds of fun things on it. You could spin the wheel for the chance to complete a challenge. And if you complete that challenge within the 15-minute time limit that you have, you will earn an override ticket. That override ticket is for you to keep. And you can use it whenever a time comes that you say, you know what, I don't want to run that loop. I'm going to turn in my override ticket, and you can pick whatever colored loop that you want at that time. But you need override tickets to be able to do that. So you can spin the wheel and take a chance. Some of the games that we have are super quick, less than 5. Most of them are less than 5 minutes. Some of them you might spend all 15 minutes trying to do it. If you don't complete the task, you don't earn an override ticket. Again, you have 15 minutes to complete that task. If you don't want to spin the wheel, you don't have to. Instead, your option is to take a 15-minute timeout, which means you're going to sit at the start-finish line with us for 15 minutes. And once 15 minutes are up, you will pick another ball and head on out. There are no back-to-back black balls. So if you pick a black ball, whether you decide to spin the wheel or not, if you pull a black ball again, we just throw it back in, pick a different color. We got to get you going, okay? But if you do take the time penalty, I'm not going to spin the wheel. You're just going to sit for 15 minutes. You don't earn an override ticket. You just keep going. So again, this is for the 12-hour tiny balls only. If you pull a black ball, that's what's up with it. And then there's the last runner standing field of runners. This one's a little bit different. So those of you in the 12-hour last runner standing, I will be pulling the ball from the bucket, and whatever color that I pull, the entire field of last runner standing runners must now run that loop. You don't have to run the loop together. It's just all of you are in that loop. This is different from 12-hour tiny balls. Again, if you're in the 12-hour tiny balls, pay no attention to what I'm talking about. This does not matter to you. This is for the last runner standing, folks. Whatever color ball I pull out, that is the color loop that all of you will end up having to run next. I will then pull a second ball. That second ball is a pace ball. Those pace balls are anything from 14 30-minute miles all the way up to 20-minute 30-second miles. Okay, so in this example here on the screen, I have pulled the 1630 ball. And what this ball indicates is the slowest possible pace that you can take in running that loop. All right, so if I pull the purple ball, everybody's running the purple loop, and then the time ball says you must run that loop at a maximum pace of 16 30-minute miles. If you do not make that cutoff, if you don't run that next loop within that pace, then you are disqualified. And again, you will be moved over to tiny balls to continue for the rest of the day. The goal is to survive, to endure, to be one of the last runners standing at the end of 12 hours. Now, I showed you a little bit earlier that here we are. We've got our pace chart. This is in the runner drive. So this is our pace chart. It shows you green, orange, blue, red, and purple. So each loop is here. And then here are your time balls. And it tells you how long you will have to run each loop if that particular ball is selected. So if I pull let's say I pull a red ball and you got to run it in 16 15-minute miles, then you will have 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 50 seconds to run that 7.19 mile red loop. And if you don't make it back in time, you will be disqualified. So you've got to be ready at the gate right when we start to head on out and run that first loop. And then you need to be back at the gate ready to start the second that we start that next loop, which is when the cutoff for the first loop ends. That very second, the next loop starts. So you've got to be back into camp, ready to go, ready to run that next loop before I say go for the next loop. I will pick the next ball and the next pace ball 5 minutes before the start of that loop. So really, you need to run it a lot faster than this 16, 30-minute miles so that you're back in time to do what you need to do, to eat, to drink, to go to the bath, do whatever gear, whatever you got to figure out. You've got to be at the gate ready to go for that next loop or you're disqualified. You cannot start a loop late. You cannot start a loop and then come back into camp. And you've got to be back before the next loop starts. So that's how the last runner standing event works. It's like Backyard Ultra, just with the HPRS twist, if you will. All right, this one's important and also kind of gross. Please know lube chips. Now you're probably wondering, what are lube chips? Well, a lube chip is when somebody comes into an aid station and they dive their fist into the Vaseline or the anti-friction cream that they have and they rub it all over their nether bits, their butthole, wherever else that it's going to go. And
I'm going to come.
And then they take their fist and they dive that into the potato chips without washing it. And now they're just nomming on some chips. Come. So that's what a lube chip is. Look, if you've lubed up your hands and they're a bit slippery, please do not dive it into the communal aid station food bowls. Self-serve is more than okay, but if your hands are messy, if you haven't washed your hands in a minute, please ask a volunteer to help you, and they will assist you by serving you the foods that you want using scoops or tongs. Please help us keep things sanitary for everyone. Colorado weather is unpredictable, especially in the mountains. It could be 80 and sunny or 30 and snowing, and I do want you to plan accordingly. We couldn't have had a better forecast for this weekend's event. This is going to be one of the more beautiful indoor trail runs that we've ever had. This is your spot forecast for the start-finish line within the state park. We're looking at 40 degrees for the start on Saturday morning. Probably actually be a little bit warmer than that by the time we get going, about 8 or 9 o'clock. Then we're looking at a sunny, beautiful sunny Saturday with a high near 70. It's going to be a little breezy out there. We got a UV index of 12. Definitely want to make sure you bring the sunscreen. Our Saturday night low is back down to 40 degrees under clear skies. So a little bit breezy with a southwest wind on Saturday. It's just going to be so warm up there. Remember that we're going to be at, if you're at the start-finish line, you're at around 9,500 feet. Something like that. We're only 800 feet lower than Leadville. You're going to be up high. So please do bring sunscreen. Please remember that we're at elevation. Hydrate well during the event. Sunrise is at 5:45 in the morning. Setting at 8 o'clock. We'll be done. And then, of course, we've got a new moon, so you won't be seeing that. So I won't be worrying about the moon. But we got a great weather forecast. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Can't wait to see you all out there. It's going to be awesome. You're welcome to have a drop bag at the start-finish line. Please label your bag with your bib number and the event that you're in. No duffel bags. If you can hide a body in it, it's too big. You can use it for food, socks, sunscreen, lube, a headlamp, and yes, even a toothbrush. Trust me, brushing your teeth mid-race is magical. Don't leave valuables inside. Bags will not be treated like fine china. Anything left behind gets donated or terminated. All right, spectators, due to parking limitations, I know it says here on the screen that they're prohibited. They are greatly discouraged. Friends, if you just need to have family and friends come out and join you, they're more than welcome to come and join us. But we do have limited parking in the campground. And so we want to ask you to please be mindful of who you're inviting. If they can't fit in one vehicle, that's too many people. So whoever's coming out to cheer you on, give you all the love, we'd love to have them. But please make sure that they can fit into one vehicle, preferably the vehicle that you show up in. And they will be subject to all park entry fees, just like everybody else, okay? Crews are not allowed for this event for any distance. So crews they're not a thing here. Typically, you're only allowed crews and or pacers for ultramarathons that are 50 miles in length or longer. So with a 12-hour like this, we're not doing crews. Pacers are welcome for anybody age 60 or older. You could have a pacer at any time. Bring them out, have them join you out there. It's fine. We do want to ask everybody, please respect the land manager. This is state property, and our professional stewardship is the only reason we are allowed here. If we aren't respectful guests, we lose the trails for the mere mortals who want to run here in the future. Don't be the reason we lose a permit or permission. Also, I want to make sure everybody knows that, again, that there is no live tracking, and please don't ask volunteers where your runner is. They're out running. We need our volunteers' attention on safety and tracking, not fielding questions. I get it. Like, family members love to show up late in the day at our events. Have you seen little Johnny Smitherbot? No. Yeah, saw him like 3 hours ago when he came through here, but we don't even have live tracking, so we have no freaking clue where he is. He's out running. He will get here when he gets here. Just sit tight. CREW is an acronym for Cranky Runner, Endless Waiting. Do that with us. We love it. It's the job. I get it. Loved ones really want to know where you are, and we just in the runner navigation document there is specific directions on how you can provide your loved ones an opportunity to live track you using your own technology. And I would ask you to please use that so that they can see you. There's cell service at the start-finish line. There's, of course, dead zones across the course, but for the most part, pretty good cell service on the ridges out there. They're going to be able to see a general idea of where you are on the course. And so help us out if you don't mind by letting them know that we don't do live tracking, but you can help them with that, okay? Crews, spectators, and pacers are an extension of the runner. Any violations does equal runner disqualification. Please be sure that your people know the rules. No dogs. No dogs. Not on course. Not in camp. Not at check-in. Not at the campfire. Not in your vehicle for the day while you're out running on the course. No dogs. Not at the start-finish line. Not anywhere. No dogs. It's a hard no. We love your furry pals, but they're a safety issue, and our insurance does not cover incidents involving them, even if they're on the leash, even if they're by your side. No dogs. Thank you.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Sorry, friends, we don't actually need more cowbell. I know, it's kind of a trail running thing, but at HPRS, we've chosen to go a different route for a few important reasons. First, we share these spaces with wildlife. Sudden, repetitive noise like cowbells can cause unnecessary stress to the animals who call these areas home. Second, many of our races happen near private residences or small local businesses. And for this event, we are in a campground, and there are people camping in areas all around us. We want to be good neighbors and respectful guests on the land. But most importantly, HPRS is a sanctuary for all runners. We actively manage this sensory environment because many on our tribe, including crew and volunteers, are neurodivergent. For them, the jarring, repetitive sound of a cowbell isn't trail culture. It's a sensory trigger that compromises their ability to be present. We're all about tribal caretaking, which means cheering in ways that lift everyone up without overwhelming those who process the world differently. So while we're all about cheering, clapping, hooting and hollering in ways that lift each other up, we ask that you do that just without the cowbells. Thanks for helping us keep the vibe strong and the volume respectful. All right, when you check in, you're going to receive your bib. I don't have bibs yet. They'll be here in a day or two. But I want everybody to know that on the back of your bib, there's going to be this little questionnaire that you're welcome to fill out. A lot of folks save their bibs. I have every bib I've ever worn. And this is just a way to document your journey, document your day, make some notes, things that you want to remember for next time or just how the day went. So that's on the back of your bib for you. We do put a quote on the front of our bibs, and for this race, it says, "The biggest climbs happen inside you." So you're going to check in. You get your bib. If you made the cutoff, you'll get your shirt. This is last year's shirt. I don't have this one's yet. Any day now, but you'll also get this little drawstring bag. And inside this bag, you're going to have a die-cut Human Potential Running Series logo sticker. You're also going to have a die-cut Endure Trail Runs logo sticker. Let's see. A reminder that our races are cupless. We will not have paper cups or plastic cups or styrofoam cups in the aid station. You got to bring your own cup. You could get one of these collapsible cups. If you don't have one of these, please ask me at check-in or ask one of our volunteers at check-in, and I will legit give one to you, okay? Hydra Pack is our sustainability sponsor this year. They've given us a limited supply of collapsible cups to be able to give out at our races to assist in making sure that our sport continues to move in the direction of cupless. We've been cupless since 2017. That's 9 years. Bring a collapsible cup. If you don't have one, please ask. Also, if you have any questions, you're looking for folks who are wearing the red bucket hat. These are our community roundtable members. They should have that. They should be wearing it. They might not be. Maybe they forget it. But if you see anybody with this hat, they're the folks to ask questions of and give feedback to. All right. What else we got? All right. So let's talk about what really matters, the finish line. At HPRS, we don't do podiums. There is no first, second, or third place. There are no age group trophies. It's not that we don't value performance. We just value people more. Your story belongs here, whether you finish first, last, or not at all. The goal isn't the finish line. It's the discovery of character. While other series are busy chasing elites and corporate trends, HPRS focuses on professional excellence. We don't care if you're fast. We care that you're here to see what you're made of. We uphold the highest safety and operational standards in the sport so that you have a secure environment to find out where your limits actually are. Some people build races to crown champions. I build them to reveal character. Whether you come in first or last, everyone gets the same finisher's award. That's the tradition in old school ultra running, and we honor it here. All finishers are equal. Here's the new finisher award. We have some leftover finishers awards for last year that we're happy to give out. These are the new awards. They look great. They're made by our friends at Ragged Cuts in Connecticut. They're 3D wooden awards. And we listened to some of your feedback. You folks want different color schemes every year. So we got a new color scheme for the award. We also got this little wooden tag with this year's, with the year on it so that you know what year this award is from if you've run Endure a few times. Okay. So again, all finishers are equal unless, of course, you come in dead last. So let's talk about dead fucking last. That's right. It's a position we actually celebrate because the person who finishes DFL, they spent the most time on their feet, dug the deepest, and showed the greatest perseverance to see it through. If that's you in either the 10K, half marathon, or marathon distances, you're going to receive our DFL award. You're going to get your normal finishers award. You're also going to get this. It says, this is for the marathon. It says Marathon DFL. So you get this cool standing wooden award, also made by our friends at Ragged Cuts. And you're also going to get a comp entry to a future HPRS race. I have given out a DFL award to just about every single race that I've ever directed. That's 368 something races by now. I've given out 360 plus of these DFL awards. It is an honor to have. It is not about embarrassing you in any way. It's to celebrate you for enduring, for being out there the longest, and to say, hey, please come back again. We'd love to have you. Also, if you're in the 12-hour tiny balls, we do have our adversity award that we give out at this one. This we typically give out to the person that runs the most red loops. Just so that you know, that's a thing. Also, when you check in, you're going to receive a wristband. This says we rise together. It says we rise together or not at all. Nobody finishes alone. This isn't just swag, it's the HPRS ethos you can wear on your sleeve. We've done away with the merit badges because we want our spirit of the trail to be active, not just retrospective. This band symbolizes our commitment to tribal caretaking and radical inclusion. It's a reminder that while you are responsible for your own safety and readiness, you are also part of a sanctuary where we look out for one another. You are free to keep your band as a reminder of your own grit, but you are encouraged to give it away. If you see a fellow runner digging deep in their down brain to find their way back, a volunteer who has been lifting the shovel for 12 hours straight, or a crew member whose compassion is keeping the energy high, or maybe somebody just helped you out there on the course continue to keep grinding it out, give them your wristband. Tell them why. It's the highest honor in our series to receive a band from a peer. It says, I see your character, and I'm glad you're in this tribe with me. A huge thank you to our sponsors, Eldorado Natural Spring Water. They've been our hydration sponsor since 2014. HydroPack, again, is our sustainable racing partner as we continue our pledge towards cupless racing. And Crawford Pathworks is sponsoring our cartography efforts these days. We want to thank GOO for providing us our electrolyte for this event. It's GOO Roctane. And then, of course, CPW, the land manager of the state park, for allowing us to host this event within the park. We appreciate their continued support. Please don't forget to check out our next 3 races. You can find full details on our website. Again, www.humanpotentialrunning.com. We've got the Summits Trail Runs on June 6th up in Granby at Granby Ranch Resort. We've got a 10K half marathon, 50K, and a 14-hour elevation challenge. I've only got about 39 spots left in that race, less than a month out. Please get signed up soon if you want to run that one with us. It's going to sell out. In July, we return to Como for that's near Fairplay, folks, right on US 285 outside of Jefferson, for the Silver Heels Trail Runs. On Friday, we have got a 100-mile, 100K, 50-mile. 50 mile starts at midnight on, 9 p.m. Friday night. It's an overnight 50 mile. And then on Saturday, we've got the 10 mile, the 19 mile, and the 60K. And then, of course, the Sheep Mountain Trail Runs on August 1st, half marathon, 50K, and 50 mile. That's everything I have to cover. As a reminder, since this is pre-recorded, please email me with any lingering questions after you've reviewed your runner's guide. For those of you who want a deeper dive into the terrain, I'm going to provide a brief course preview separately. It's also in the pre-race email to show you how everything flows. So thank you so much for being a part of the community and for showing up to do something incredible this weekend. I really can't wait to see everybody out there. It's going to be a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend. So excited to have you. For the Human Potential Running Series, I'm Race Director John LaCroix. Can't wait to see you in Divide for the Endure Trail Runs. See you out there.